So the biggest song I ever produced was actually recorded on a type beat I uploaded to my YouTube channel. And that song today has 73 million streams on Spotify alone. So in today's video I'm going to show you how I produced that song, how I made that beat, and I'm just going to show you that simplicity is key and a simple beat might be your biggest hit. Don't be afraid to post those, don't be afraid to send those out. So with further ado, let's get straight into this. Stay with me. Okay, so I got the project loaded up. It's a really simple beat, as you can see. I used the loop by Lazy. It's titled Black When. Shout out to Lazy. He got crazy guitar melodies. Make sure to check him out. So he sent me this guitar loop. Let me just load up how it sounded originally. And here it is. So let's just listen to how it sounded. So it has a pretty kind of up-tempo summer vibe, if that makes sense. And at the time I made this beat, it was not really my usual vibe that I would go for. I was mainly doing emo rap beats, but this loop really got my attention. I was like, yeah, why not try something different and why not make a different beat than I would usually do? And that's exactly what I did. So I pulled up the loop, sliced it up to different parts, used different sections in the beat. The only changes I made to the loop is I pitched it down by 100 cents and I changed the tempo to 160. So it's a bit slower and it's played at a lower pitch. And then really I just cut up parts that I felt like worked together. So for example, for the intro, I just used this really simple, only the chords, no other melodies. Here I wanted to add some fuller sound, so I usually keep my intros a bit more interesting. I want to make sure many sounds play in the intro, kind of just show the listener what they can expect from the beat. Like I always think about my beats like that. So the intro should be pretty full, and then later on you just pretty much structure your beats so it's progressive and it's not that repetitive. You change up stuff, and later on of course you show all the elements the intro had. But like that's how I look at my beats, and that's how I look at structuring overall. Whenever I'm structuring a beat, the first hook is always really simple. So as you can see, in the first hook I only used the chords, like in the first part of the first hook. For the second part I added this other melody that actually has some background, you know, I don't know, background sounds I guess. And then I added this layer, it's playing some vocals I think. It is just some kind of frequencies that we fill the background. And altogether it sounds, you know, pretty interesting, yeah. And then for the verse, again, I just pretty much use the chords. It's not even the same layer as this one. I don't know why I put them in the same line. Like I usually like to keep my projects really clean so I know exactly which layer was where. But in this project I was like, it's pretty much my first different beat I do for the channel. I'm not even really worrying about how I structure it. I made it like in 20 to 30 minutes. I was not even sure if I'm gonna pause this, you know, because I just like the guitar melody, but I was not sure if I like the overall vibe. So it was almost like a throwaway beat for me. And that's why the structuring and everything is just so generic really. But maybe that's all I needed for real, the simplicity and the simple beat. And then after this, it's just pretty much repeating what I just told you, trying to structure the beat so it's not too repetitive, some changes in the melody. So I always want to make sure each bar is a bit different than the other in terms of the melody. So that's how I usually structure my beats. And then for the drums, I think really what gives the beat the crazy vibe is this bass line right here. It's so simple, but I think it's so effective. Like, it's just following the root notes of the guitar, and with the guitar it just sounds really good. Like this is literally the intro of the song. And the bass is almost playing through the whole song. It only stops for a few bars. I think this gives the song, you know, the vibe. The kick is pretty much just following the 808s, as you can see right here. Hold up. Yeah, right here, my bad. So just the exact same pattern. Yeah. And then I added some kind of trap emo hi-hats. I'm not even sure if that's something that I like in the beat, but I was like, I literally just threw in a MIDI I made the other day and I was like, yeah, it will do. And I guess it did, so. But I'm not really sure if I like this, to be honest. But then the other percussion sounds, I think those give crazy vibe to the beat. I'm just gonna play them all together. Like, it sets the bounce. Open hats really crazy in this beat. Also the rims, like everything just plays where they should play. It's just so nice, you know, to listen to it. And back then I was not even using rims and snares as, you know, claps, because I was like only using claps in all of my beats. And this was one of my first beats that I actually tried to use a rim sound instead of a clap sound. So yeah, that was also a pretty new thing to me, I guess, to use a rim instead of a clap. It's not a huge change, but really it sets the vibe for the beat, I feel like. So yeah. And then the open hats is just generic trap open hats, I think. So it's nothing crazy. But I feel like the placement of the notes are really important here for real. Yeah, that's pretty much about it for the beat. I got a little rim here. And also this other percussion. And all the drum sounds played together, it sounds like this. No lie, so simple, but you know, combine that with the simple melody and you got a hit for real. So the beat then is pretty basic. It's structured like an intro here. Then this is the first hook. Then this is the verse. This is some sort of bridge here. A break before the next hook, because then there is the next hook coming. Then there is another verse, and then there are no more bridges, no more breaks. Hook again, and then outro. So that's what I usually do when I structure beats. And yeah, that's pretty much about it. I had the producer tags right there, and it's actually in the song as well. Wait, is it malloy? Because the song was literally recorded in this beat on the free version. And yeah, later on, when the artist blew up with it, we got settled, you know, like everyone got fairly compensated. But yeah, it was literally like kind of his breakout song on this beat. And it feels good, you know, to be a part of that. And for the mixing, for some reason, I panned the melody to the right. Don't ask me why. This shit is crazy, fool. Wait, is it malloy? It had an EQ on it, and I had an RC20 on it. So really just, you know, some reverb, cutting some from the frequencies. Like without the effects, it sounds like this. With the effects, it sounds like this. You know, a minor change, but yeah. For the drums, I had some effects on this clap rim, a little EQ, and just a little reverb. On the hi-hats, I had nothing. On the bass, I literally had nothing. Kicks, nothing. On the open hats, I had a little panning to the left. Rims, nothing again. And this percussion had some reverb. And look at the master, soft clipper. Like at this time I was not even worrying about my mix at all. I was like, just go for it, soft clip on the master and we're good. And that's exactly what I did. I mean, what else to say about this beat for real? It's as simple as that. And hold up, let me just take this off. And if you look at the walls, look at the Billboard plaque, you look at that gold certified plaque, those both came from this same song. It was, you know, charting on the billboards when it was actually released, because it kind of got popular on TikTok. At that time, many songs got picked up by the TikTok's algorithm, and many people, you know, recorded those videos on it, and it kept the song going. And it's actually going till this day, like it's not stopping. It's still the artist's top 10 streamed songs. So it's just crazy, you know, how sometimes you just have to think a bit outside of the box, do something that you wouldn't normally do, like with this beat for real. Looking at it now, I would definitely do something like this, but back then this was something new to me. You know, not using an actual 808, using an actual bass for the bass line. It was just different, and it kind of worked out, I guess. So don't be afraid to try different things. And yeah, that's pretty much about it for this video. It's not a cook-up video like I would normally do, but I want to make sure that I have some more talking and breakdown videos. And I feel like if I show how these beats were made, I might be able to give you, I guess, a new approach, a new sort of way to look at things, and to be able to think differently. Like, that's really important. If you got a song that you like that I produced, or if you got a beat that you like that I produced and you want some sort of breakdown from that, make sure to let me know down below. And yeah, again, that's it for today. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, Let me know down below what you want to see next. And yep, I'm out for today. Peace out.
Wenn sie ordentlich ist, warum raucht sie Kippen dann auf Kette? Wenn sie ordentlich ist, warum geht die Bitch mit auf Toilette? Wenn sie ordentlich ist, wieso schickt sie dann versaute Texte? Wenn sie ordentlich ist, warum slidet sie unter die Decke? Wow.